Let's talk about Greg Hardy versus Alan Crowder. Good fight, first of all. It was an entertaining fight, I can't lie. Greg Hardy did what he does, comes out in the first round as if the opponent is a woman and starts beating him against the cage. Okay, that's what he does. Treats his opponent like a woman and goes to town beating on him. However, I noticed beforehand on his fights in the Tuesday Night Contender Series, when he is unloading against people against the fence, he has no striking, he has no defense whatsoever. No hands come back to his chin. He just throws everything and hopes that you go down. It works until you're at the UFC level. Alan Crowder isn't even at UFC level. He went into this fight saying, I'm going to show Greg Hardy that he isn't UFC level. Alan Crowder, you aren't UFC level. You got signed from the Tuesday Night Contender Series and you lost your first UFC fight by KO. And you just lost again. Even though it was a disqualification, you got handed a free win. Congratulations. Now, Greg Hardy looked good. He looked good for a heavyweight. And that's a lot to say because heavyweights in term, outside of the top 10, are complete trash. So, that's a compliment from me. He looked good for a heavyweight. He came out, stormed the gate. Alan Crowder landed some shots back. I thought that Greg Hardy was going to have a glass chin because he's from NFL and he's taken the concussions already. You know, you don't. You think if you think there's okay. Speaking of concussions, I can't even fucking string a sentence together. If you think there's concussions in fighting sports, look at the fucking NFL. Those guys ram their fucking heads into each other, brick walls, ram their heads into a brick wall. I'm concussed, so I can't even speak on this. I'm not even speaking correctly at the moment. Greg Hardy looked good. He took shots from Alan Crowder, which was good. He looked like a brawler. So did Alan Crowder. Alan Crowder took him down. But then Greg Hardy got back up. That's embarrassing. You should be embarrassed with yourself, Alan Crowder. Call yourself a mixed martial arts fighter. You take Greg Hardy down and you can't keep him there. Okay? Call yourself a UFC caliber fighter. You took someone down who's been training for only a matter of years and you can't keep him there in Greg Hardy. He has 3 fights. He's never gone to the ground once. Fair enough, he's training there. You should be able to take him down and hold him there if you're UFC caliber. Proof that Alan Crowder isn't UFC caliber. Once again. Greg Hardy looked good. Alan Crowder landed some shots back. In the second round, we noticed that Greg Hardy looked a bit tired. He looked a bit gassy. Because he came out, every fight's been finished in the first minute. Or the first 2 minutes of the first round. He's never been here before in a fight. The guy's taking the shots. Why isn't he going unconscious? Everyone else did. Is because he doesn't have a glass chin like all the tin cans that you fought. You know? Alan Crowder looked good though. He took the shots, he was beckoning it on, he was calling him on like, yeah, I'm still here. And we saw that the power from Greg Hardy doesn't really translate into the rest of the fight, outside of the first round. That being said, he's a big cunt, and he throws with menacing conviction. You know, I feel bad for his ex-wife, honestly, because those punches he was throwing were fucking powerful. He looked good. He got taken down, he got back up. Credit to him. Whether that's because Alan Crowder is complete trash and shouldn't be in the UFC himself, or the fact that Greg Hardy can get back up with a UFC fighter on top of him. However you want to look at that, he got back up from the ground. That's what we were looking for this fight. We wanted to see him taken down and taken into the second round, and that's it. I think the illegal knee was very intentional, because it wasn't even close. And his excuse was incorrect. If I was him, I would have said, if I was him and I wanted to lie about why I threw the illegal knee, I would have said this. I would have said, oh, you know what, it's my first time in the UFC, it was a bloodbath, I'm just a bit ill-informed and uneducated on the rules sometimes, that when I see red, I just threw the knee and didn't think about the rules. It was my first time, a rookie mistake, and it won't happen again. Instead, he said he mistimed the knee. What were you waiting for? The guy has 2 knees on the floor, 1 hand on the floor. Did you mistime it by 10 seconds in the future? Did you mistime your knee by 10 seconds? It doesn't make any sense. It's not like he caught Alan Crowder just about to get up and his knee was just still touching the floor barely, you know? Both knees were on the floor. Alan Crowder was down. Greg Hardy threw the knee. Very illegal. I think he wanted a way out of the fight because he didn't want to get knocked out. We'll see. We'll see what happens with Greg Hardy in the UFC. Dana White says he's going to give him another shot. I say fair ball. He put on an entertaining fight. Let's play ball. Let's play ball. Let's watch Greg Hardy again. Let's give him someone a bit better than Alan Crowder, though. Because Alan Crowder, as good as he is, you've basically lost 2 fights in a row. I don't care about disqualifications. Disqualifications, in my eyes, even though they're breaking of the rules, disqualifications to me mean you got beat so hard, but you got beaten in a legal way. But you still got beat. You know what I mean? If that was a fight, Alan Crowder would have lost. You know? If there was no knee to ground opponent rules. Alan Crowder, in my opinion, is 2 losses into the UFC. They're probably going to give him another fight because he's won the last one from disqualification. We'll see where Greg Hardy goes from here. Give him a tin can. Let's warm him up a bit. Because clearly he's not ready for the UFC caliber opponents. Oh well. Oh well. I thought Greg Hardy was going to go out there and starch him. And if it went past the second round, then Alan Crowder was going to crowd him against the cage and put a whooping on him. But that didn't happen. We saw that Greg Hardy has a little bit of heart. For a woman beater. He has a bit of heart. Yeah. He looked good. It was a good fight. You wouldn't be able to tell that this guy has less experience than some of the other top heavyweights. Joe Rogan just went live with Barry Weiss. I won't be watching that. I'll just remove that notification. Yeah. If you watch that fight, you wouldn't be able to tell that both of them were bottom of the food chain, like terrible UFC heavyweights. You know, if you put that fight on and said this guy's ranked number 10 and this guy's ranked number 9, and they're about to go at it, you wouldn't know any difference. They're fucking heavyweights. The heavyweight division is trash until you get to the top 8. Facts. Facts. I don't care what you say. I could fucking beat Alistair Overeem. See you later, guys. I'll leave you on that bombshell. Roast me in the comments. I'll see you later, boys. Like and subscribe. Dana's bored. And Colby Covington is a bitch. What else can I say? And Tyron Woodley is a race baiter as well. And I don't like him because of it. What else? Oh yeah, Till just got signed to fight Masvidal. And Gunnar Nelson versus Leon Edwards on the same card. Future videos, boys. That is some content right there. I can make them videos all day. Can't wait. See you later.